be rounding out this Sean Waltman themed week with our normal ending video because we got no special videos at the end of this week.
Why did it take us 4 videos to realize this?
It did not take me 4 videos to realize. I actually think I mentioned it in the first one.
I forgot.
That I don't think I specifically said Sean Waltman theme. I think I made a 1, 2, 3 Kid reference. Or at least thought I did.
Well, regardless, well placed.
Yeah, it's the midweek wrap up.
We're
wrapping up the week with NXT and Lucha Underground, Dusty Classic, and the Dial of Doom.
Yeah, so for any of you that were watching the midweek wrap up for our weekly review of Main Event, that will no longer happen because I got rid of my Hulu.
Yeah.
It's not worth paying the money for 2 shows that I watch every week, so for as of now, it'll just be NXT and Lucha Underground. So yeah, Dusty Classic is still
rolling right along.
Still talk of the town over there on NXT. We actually opened up with a Rich Swann and No Way Jose taking on Tony Nese and Drew Gulak.
Yeah.
As if we couldn't tell from the promo that they did, the melding of No Way Jose and Rich Swann is just so natural. Like their entrance was entertaining.
There couldn't be a more natural pair on NXT, I don't think.
It was so well placed, and then you're going against a team who we've already seen work very well together.
Yeah, and I like that they keep them a running theme.
Yeah, no, it's a good combination of styles. You get a little bit of everything when you get Gulak and Nese in the ring, and they pair well against Rich Swann and No Way Jose because they very much have that same type of dynamic where you have the fast pace, flippy-do Rich Swann, and then you've got the power and a little bit of technique from No Way Jose. So it was a good battle back and forth.
What I like about Nese and Gulak as a pairing too is they're 2 guys who are like, we're gonna go in there and like kick you in the face.
Yeah.
And then Tony Nese is like, yes, but we'll also flip on you as well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna flip.
Yeah, because Tony Nese can do that.
That's Drew.
Tony Nese actually
He just doesn't.
Tony Nese trying to do the stalling suplex on No Way Jose,
which was impressive, even though it got reversed.
It got reversed, so it was a good attempt, but No Way Jose had it scouted, I guess you'd say. And then as if he wasn't already impressive, Rich Swann kind of like ensured the win for him in No Way Jose when he did the tumbleweed off the second rope to the outside onto Tony Nese, leaving Drew Gulak to get hit with the full Nelson Slam. And we have Rich Swann and No Way Jose moving on to the second round to face the Authors of Pain.
Yeah, they cut a promo saying if you already looked past us, you're making a grave mistake.
So
because can they handle this?
No way, Jose.
Yeah. No, the part that I specifically loved about this match was the beginning sequence with Gulak and Swann.
Oh yeah,
their chemistry was off the charts.
Yeah, you can tell they've worked together quite a few times. They're well aware of what each of them are capable of.
Yeah. Both are evolved staples. So.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you ask Chuck Taylor, Rich Swann is a Mosses.
Oh yes, I forgot that was a running theme for a while. I actually had to ask you if it was true.
Yeah, no, but according to Chuck Taylor, they all look the same.
Moving on, some fallout from last week's Dusty Classic matches. Ty Dillinger is none too happy with Bobby Roode, and he has actually challenged, and it has been granted he will go against Bobby Roode at NXT TakeOver Toronto.
Yeah, I'm glad he mentioned that. He specifically asked for Regal for the match, and Regal gave it to him.
Yeah, because
it wasn't one of the things that is starting to unnerve me a little bit in wrestling is how often people go over the heads of the authority figures.
NXT is good about not doing that. It's like Regal makes sure that everything is as legit as possible.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've got NXT where everything is done correctly and done because the general manager says so. You get the back and forth bits on SmackDown, and no one gives a fuck on Raw.
Yeah.
But Bobby Roode will actually have a match against one Sean Maluta from the Cruiserweight Classic. Bobby Roode looking extra glorious with a cape attached to his jacket this time around.
Super sparkle robe.
Yeah, like bits of Sheamus were attached to this robe.
Like if Jericho was Sparkle Crotch, Bobby Roode was Sparkle Man.
It was sparkle everything. But in quick fashion, Bobby Roode did put away Sean Maluta with his Impaler DDT, and then got on the mic and started talking once again that Ty begged him to be in the tournament.
And then the fans finally started booing him.
Yeah, they started.
He was over during the match, but the promo is what it took for him to get on their bad side.
Once you start talking trash about Ty Dillinger, the crowd's gonna turn on you real quick.
Yeah, he's perfect.
No matter how glorious you are. But it wouldn't be long before Ty Dillinger would actually come out and start to get a little bit of revenge on Bobby Roode, actually one-upping him, and the crowd. This is going to be so much fun. We talked about it while we were watching. The match at NXT TakeOver Toronto, rather than the boo, yeah punch exchange, we're going to get glorious 10. It already started on NXT.
And I mean, if you think about it, like both these guys, just from their gimmicks alone, are super over.
Absolutely.
The Perfect 10 and Glorious Bombs. Like, they're over.
Yeah.
It's the coolest thing in NXT going right now. On top of that, they are both Canadians.
Yeah.
Both from Ontario, Canada. And TakeOver is taking place in Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
Yeah,
so you got two hometown boys, basically.
Yeah, Bobby Roode will have the most hometown advantage because he actually is from Toronto.
Yeah.
But Ty isn't from too far away in Niagara Falls. So, yeah, two guys so over in their home province of their home country. It's going to be insane. We also got a little backstage talk from Liv Morgan was kind of going over her match against Billie Kay last week.
And she's upset because they were cheating.
Yes.
You know who else was upset?
Hmm.
Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, because they can.
Because Liv was talking about getting beat up, so they gave her something to talk about, and they beat her up.
Like they always do.
Yeah, they dragged her out to the stage. Later,
she was going to say something about us, but she was too busy getting beat up.
Yeah. Later up on the stage and said that they were putting the entire NXT Women's Division on notice,
including
Asuka. So we didn't get any help for Liv Morgan from the Women's Division. So we'll see where that ends up going.
I'm starting to feel like the Women's Division dislikes New Jersey as much as Corey Graves does.
Is there beef between Australia and New Jersey?
I don't know.
If you are from New Jersey and or Australia, let us know whether or not you like the other side. And if you don't, tell us why in the comments down below.
Was there a feud between Carmella and Emma?
Well, maybe for a bit.
I don't remember.
I don't either. But as if the Dusty Classic wasn't already exciting, we had a little bit of mystery in the tournament.
Oh, yeah.
Because Austin Aries had a mystery partner. And so he and his mystery partner would be taking on the massive team of Otis Dojovic.
Something like that.
And Tucker Knight. We're going Dozer and Tucker Knight.
Otis and Tucker. Sounds like a Disney movie about dogs who got lost on their way home from a camping trip.
I believe that was Homeward Bound, but that's okay. And they were Lucky and Chance, I believe. No.
Sounds good enough. Otis and Tucker. It's the sequel.
To face off, this team is already massive.
Yeah, and Austin dropped the hint during his pre-match promo.
Yeah.
Saying that the only person who could be the right partner for the greatest man alive had to be the strongest partner possible.
Yeah, and so, and especially going against a behemoth of a team like Tucker Knight and Otis, it was It was a hell of a task to put on anyone, but if anyone's gonna handle that pressure on their shoulders, it's gonna be former Mr. ROH Roderick Strong.
Roderick motherfucking Strong.
Roddy Strong making his debut in NXT.
Yeah.
Him and Austin Aries working extremely well as a tag team.
Well, they're former 2-time Ring of Honor tag team
really?
champions. Yeah.
Oh, well, that would explain it. But
I'm gonna fact check myself. I know
Go
they're at
for
least
it.
1-time
But-
ROH tag champions.
you know, as good as they were, we have to give props to Dozer and Tucker because
Yeah.
they make an amazing tag team. It's not very often that I'm excited to see, you know, the whole hype around Dan Matha. Obviously, there wasn't like any more than him flexing for 15 seconds in a little vignette. But I'm not usually excited for big guys making their debut. But we've seen Tucker work before. We know that he's good, and
We've
now
seen him here.
yeah, we got to see him live, and he's extremely good. He's a home state boy for us. You know, he's an Oregon boy, so we obviously give props to him. But Dozer is a great counterpart in that team. They had some great, big man double teams like the crossbody. It was Aries. Aries got caught by Dozer, and then Tucker came in and did like a big avalanche against him.
Okay, so they're only 1-time tag champions.
One-time tag team. So yeah, they've won gold together before. So regardless, that gives them a little bit of a head start on the other tag teams. And then like the double squash of the head and stuff like they just had great chemistry, and it worked extremely well. And it worked in their favor because Aries ends up knocking Dozer off of the apron as Roddy does a big forearm to Tucker Knight in the corner. This leads to a gutbuster and a sick kick, and Austin Aries and Roderick Strong move on to the second round where they will face the team of TM61. And holy crap am I excited for that match.
That's going to be a fantastic match. And not if just, to keep tooting Roderick Strong's horn, if he wasn't like already, just because he's had that experience with Austin Aries before, he's been tag team champions in so many different promotions with so many different people.
Yeah.
In Full Impact Pro, he was tag team champions with both Eric Stevens and Rich Swann.
Wow.
In Premier Wrestling Experience, he was tag team champions with Eddie Edwards. And in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, he was tag team champions with Davey Richards, Jack Evans, and Neville.
Wow. That's quite a resume for tag teams.
Yeah.
So yeah,
The man knows how to get it done with a partner.
Needless to say, he's got a little bit in. Needless to say, he's got a little bit of insight in what to do to win gold as a tag team.
Yeah.
We had Andrade Cien Almas do a promo mostly in Spanish, talking about how he doesn't worry about respect anymore. He's just worried about being Andrade Cien Almas. Andrade Cien Almas.
Kennedy.
Andrade Cien Almas.
Kennedy. His translator's cute.
Yeah. She's the backstage interviewer.
She's cute.
Yeah. We got to see Nikki Cross of Sanity in singles action as she demolished Danielle Camela, who we saw a few weeks ago on Raw. It was Camela had no freaking chance.
No, there are, I think, comparatively to the way she handles herself, I don't think there are very many ladies who are going to have luck coming across a match with Nikki Cross.
Coming across Cross.
Yeah. Don't cross Nikki Cross.
Not going by Glenn Cross anymore, just Nikki Cross. She is she's a 5-foot bucket of crazy, and she is
10 pounds of crazy in a 2 pound bucket.
And she went apeshit all over Danielle Camela
and herself.
She slaps herself, she scratches herself, she does all these things to, like,
she bites herself.
Yeah, no, she does all these things to like fucking make herself go nuts, and then she just unleashes on her opponent. It's bizarre. She ends up beating her.
I think she just likes pain. She's a little bit of
based on who she's hanging out with, I would not be surprised. She ends up winning the match with a fisherman neck breaker, but then the beating continues so much that the referee actually changes the decision So Danielle Camela officially has defeated Nikki Cross, though it didn't look like it.
No,
the only way to get Nikki off of her, like Eric Young tried to and got forearmed in the face.
Yeah.
And thought it was the funniest shit he'd ever seen. So it was like, okay, it's gone far enough. So Sawyer Fulton actually had to like scoop her up and like just hold her back because he's the biggest guy on the team.
Yeah.
So I don't know. After 2 weeks, I'm so enthralled with this team. I'm curious as to what their whole story is going to end up being. Like, you know, what are we going to find out about the relationship between all these people?
Here's what I think is I don't think we will.
No? You think they'll keep it a mystery?
Yeah. Because
WWE's not good at that, though.
No, but at the same time, I don't feel like these guys are going to be like the promo cutting type.
No, but I feel like Eric Young is a promo type guy. I feel like he has something
specifically
to say.
That's why he's in the group.
And on top of that, I wouldn't be surprised if Alexander Wolf is a talker. I could the fact that he seems like the most tame out of the four of them. I feel like he'd be the one to actually be able to speak and not completely freak an interviewer out.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm very intrigued about what the direction and what the overall end game is with Sanity.
Total anarchy, I think.
I'm cool with it. And then in our that was technically our main event match, but what we ended the night with was Nakamura addressing what happened with Samoa Joe last week, eventually being interrupted by Patrick Clark, the
Velveteen Dream.
The Velveteen Dream, the Patrick Clark Experience. He said, we don't need to see Samoa Joe versus Nakamura. We've already seen that. So we should do Patrick Clark versus Nakamura. And then Nakamura proceeded to Nakamura the shit out of Patrick Clark. And then we had... This was... Okay, so this was...
He kicked him in the leg, which dropped him, and then he kicked him in the head, which knocked him
So knocked him out. And then we just get this really awkward, Joe's gonna run down and do something, and Joe's like, no, I'm not gonna do nothing. It was a very
oh shit, he sees me.
It was a very awkward end. We did end up getting Nakamura hitting the Kinshasa on Patrick Clark afterwards, and then just watching Joe as he left.
Yeah.
So a very interesting way to end NXT.
We still got a while to go before NXT TakeOver Toronto.
Yeah, we've got... Because
it's not
I think it's 5 weeks.
Yeah, it's not happening until the night before Survivor Series.
Yeah, it's November 19th, I believe. And so we're still only
a month away.
Yeah, we're still only halfway through October. So yeah, we got a ways to go.
It's kind of cool to have this kind of a build up because you don't get that on the main roster.
Yeah, no, that's why I love the fact that takeovers are every 2 or 3 months as opposed to every single month. Because it just feels more special when you see these matches get built over time. And that's one thing the main roster doesn't do well at all. Yeah,
and that's why they're focusing a lot on the build towards Survivor Series already, even though they still have Hell in a Cell to get through.
Right. Alright, so let's move on to Lucha Underground, where we had a hell of an episode of Lucha Underground this week.
Yeah.
We open up, Vampiro was trying to give some motivation to Prince Puma, because Prince Puma has his match with Mil Muertes.
Yeah, and Puma's like, I'm going to shut you down.
Yeah,
I don't want none of that jive bullshit.
Yeah, it says, I'd rather die at the hands of Mil Muertes than live by yours. And Vampiro says, well, I predict that Mil Muertes will die by your hands.
Yeah, I don't know. Vampiro's just trying to seem supportive, I think, and Puma's shutting him down.
Yeah.
It's kind of rude.
Yeah, so we'll see how that plays out. Killshot was a lucky recipient of a championship match at the decision, as you would say, of Dario's Dial of Doom.
Yeah, lucky. So lucky. He got the shit kicked out of him for 80% of this match.
Yeah, no, he was still...
If not more.
He was still selling what happened a couple weeks ago in the WMD match against Marty the Moth. So he wasn't exactly in the best shape to compete for a championship, let alone against Matanza.
Yeah.
He did get a couple of licks in here and there, but it wasn't enough to secure any hope for a title win.
No, because Matanza would just throw him across the ring.
Yeah, his one moment where, this was the end of the match where we thought, okay, he might have a chance is Matanza was trying to do a tombstone from the second rope.
Yeah.
And Killshot rolled
Which
off.
was probably a murder.
Yeah, no, that I was freaked out. And then, so Killshot flips off of him and drop kicks his leg so he goes through the ropes, hits a super kick and knocks him down, and goes up, instead of covering him, he goes up and tries to hit a double stomp, which Matanza moves out of the way of, and Matanza eventually hits Wrath of the Gods. And then it just got a little worse for Killshot as he came to, and a face that we know very well. Obviously, his name will be different in this storyline, but A.R. Fox made his debut in Lucha Underground as what we can only assume as the combat partner, the combat brother of Killshot.
Brother in arms.
Whom we saw Killshot get a letter last week saying, "You left me for dead," which he actually did say after he dropped him with almost like a fisherman buster, and then dropped his own set of dog tags on the chest of Killshot as he left him laying in the ring. So yeah, things aren't going too well for Killshot right now.
No.
I think that win over Marty the Moth is going to be about the extent of his happiness this season of Lucha Underground. We also got another little vignette of "They're Coming" with the extra adage "better late than never." So we're getting more of that bunny rabbit tribe that apparently is coming, the White Rabbit tribe.
Yeah. They're, down the rabbit hole, late for a very important date.
Yep.
Alice in Wonderland references.
Yeah, so still not sure when that debut is happening, but apparently it's happening soon.
It's not going to happen until they're going to show up right at the very end of the season when they do the end video going out. That's going to be them just walking and going, "Oh fuck,
we missed season 3." Well, it could happen in 4 weeks because we've got a couple of empty spots now in what will be Aztec Warfare 3.
Yep, bringing it back.
Dario made the decision that, Matanza's just been, getting win after win after win, that he really needs a challenge.
He's so dominant.
So he's going to make him defend the championship as Phoenix did last year in Aztec Warfare, and he's going to put Matanza in that same spot at number 1. Now, we have the Trios champions in the ring expecting competition, so Dario says, "I'm going to give one of you the shot at being number 20, and that's whoever wins this next triple threat match." The other side of the coin is, if you lose, you are out of Aztec Warfare.
Yeah, so, if there wasn't already enough to cause dissension between the champions and cause them to fight each other...
For that 20th spot.
Yeah, which, it kind of seemed like, yeah, well, that's kind of cool, but maybe, we're still going to be friends and whatnot, and have a respectful, easygoing match with each other. And the ante was up, saying, "Oh shit, well now 2 of us aren't going to be in it, so time to fight."
And fight they did. Phoenix got his face busted after his face got crossbodied by Drago. Aerostar, I don't know how he still wrestles because he takes unbelievable bumps in every single match. He got messed up quite a few times.
He takes a ridiculous number of risks.
It is scary to watch Aerostar wrestle, but it's also fascinating.
Yeah,
and
watch his King of Trios, Radio Voladores finals against Tony Nese. The man, nearly murders himself.
That's Lucha Libre, apparently. But no, these 3 have unbelievable chemistry, and I was so enthralled with this match.
Yeah.
It was nonstop. It was, everyone was on top of everything. It was just so many rapid fire spots. I can't even begin to tell you half of the stuff that happened in it.
Yeah. Needless to say, there's a lot of good stuff happened this week in wrestling as far as wrestling's concerned. This, if I had to say, do your best to find one specific match from this week, this might be the one.
I would probably agree with you.
For entertainment value,
yeah,
this one. It's close second, AJ Styles versus James Ellsworth.
Yes, that was also a fantastic match. But Drago does end up picking up the win after Phoenix tries to set him up for an Alabama Slam. He ends up turning it into a Rana Destroyer type move, which takes Phoenix out, and then eventually hits his Destroyer DDT on Aerostar, and Drago will be number 20 in Aztec Warfare 3. So we know Matanza's number 1. We know Drago's number 20. We got 18 other spots to fill. So I'll see in the next coming weeks who will be filling those other 18 spots.
I bet Mundo's going to be in it.
Well, we'll talk about a couple of things here, because now that Drago is pretty much in a guaranteed spot to win the championship, Cobra Moon, who they are apparently from the same tribe, which would make sense. They're both
scaly
reptilian type creatures. Cobra Moon is expecting Drago to bring the championship back to their tribe. Unfortunately, Drago left the tribe thousands of years ago and has no plans of going back. So Drago is kind of an outcast from what originally was his Aztec tribe.
Yeah.
So
he grew arms and legs and wings.
Yeah, and Cobra Moon is none too happy about that. So we'll see if that has any repercussions later on.
I want to know if they just scrapped the whole deal of her and Daga being an item.
Daga's, I know, been doing a lot of more stuff in the other AAA stuff. So there might have been a situation where he wasn't. Maybe he's kind of left so he can get away from Cobra Moon. And he
that'd be a great
he felt like he was getting stalked too much. He's like, I want to go do other stuff.
She's too clingy.
Yeah. But speaking of Johnny Mundo, you're funny. But yeah, Johnny Mundo hit a new low of how he's going to get matches. He is so desperate to be a champion that he is literally going to pay his way into a championship match.
I can't remember the last time I've seen this happen.
Honestly, I can't tell. If you've ever seen someone pay their way into a championship match, let us know in the comments. But
the closest thing I can think of, Ted DiBiase tried to buy the championship.
That's literally the only thing I can think of. But that's not. He didn't buy his way into a match. He just bought the championship.
Yeah, which then caused the WrestleMania 4 tournament.
Yeah.
History lesson, people.
Hey, but I love the callback. This is the briefcase of the $100,000 that he took away from Dario at the beginning of season 1.
Yeah.
That is
when he punched him in the face.
Such a cool callback, and it's a little less. It was like 98,000 or something like that, or 91,000 or something.
He's got bills to pay.
He had some things he had to pay off. So,
but Dario some fancy sunglasses.
But Dario does accept it, and so now we will officially have Johnny Mundo taking on Sexy Star very soon for the Gift of the Gods Championship.
Is he gonna kick his ass?
Probably.
I'm just saying.
Speaking of kicking ass, our main event is Prince Puma versus Mil Muertes. This is the first big feud that we had over the Lucha Underground Championship from Season 1. Mil Muertes eventually defeating Prince Puma and taking it into Season 2.
The feud that just sort of doesn't die.
Well, much like Mil Muertes doesn't die.
It reincarnates itself.
And it's always exciting. These two, the fact that you have such a big, strong base and someone like, spoiler alert, Ricochet, who plays Prince Puma. Yeah.
You kidding me?
Nah. Did you know that Nikki and John Cena are together? He's so
Thanks
good.
For that, Carmella.
You're welcome. Hey, I just taught you something. Anyway, he can do anything he wants with anyone in that ring.
Yeah.
He is so versatile. He's so fluid in the ring, and when you've got someone so strong like Mil Muertes, you get not only amazing feats by Prince Puma, but you also get great selling by Prince Puma, which puts Mil Muertes way the fuck over. And
it's kind of cool because I like the contrasts from the original Puma Muertes fights to now, because now Prince Puma's a lot more aggressive than he was back then.
Yeah,
he's snapped and went to that aggressive place at the end of season 2, and it's carried over into season 3, and he's very much on the aggression, on the offensive side of everything, rather than trying to be always flipping and jumping and doing his stuff.
Which is why Vampira has his eyes on Prince Puma right now, because Pentagon Jr. turned his back on him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, this was a very, very much a brawl through most of this match. They fought off into the crowd, which turned into that big cross body out of fucking nowhere from
Yeah,
Puma.
like off the 8th row.
Just fucking fantastic. And then, we get such good in-ring work. They're, fighting all the way around the ring. It's so much fun to watch these two because they really understand how the other works.
Yeah, Mil Muertes has mastered the isolated punch.
Yes.
The one-handed awesome punch to the face. Very few people do it as well as Mil Muertes does.
Yeah.
As well as the spear.
He's
got to call it the trident.
I think it's the Devil's Trident.
Yeah.
It's a very
which he did on the outside.
Yeah. Which you never want to get speared on the outside. You don't want anything to happen on the outside.
You don't want no more to spear you, period.
Yeah, especially on the outside. But for some, whatever reason, Puma was just on his game.
It's the aggression again.
And despite despite Mil Muertes now having the essence of Sinestro de la Muerte from a couple weeks ago, it wasn't enough to put away Prince Puma. And the 6:30 put away Mil Muertes, and Prince Puma picks up the win. So now you got to wonder where Prince Puma goes from this, especially in relations to what Vampiro's been talking to him about the last couple weeks.
Yeah, my theory here though is I'm gonna be real. With Mil and Katrina right now, you absorbed the dude because he kept losing. You thought that was going to make you better?
Your plan backfired.
You absorbed a loser. You are what you eat. Or vape, or whatever you guys did.
Well, and on top of that, Sinestro de la Muerte had infused himself with the other two...
yeah.
I can't remember their trio name. But the other two...
Disciples of...
The Disciples of Death.
Yeah.
And... Trace and I can't remember the name. Lucas, post in the comment. Let me know which one I'm forgetting, because I know you remember.
Well, I mean, and the deal is too is I think he got sort of like the secondhand smoke, or not the secondhand, but like the filtered version of the power.
Oh, so
because Katrina got him first, so I think Katrina kept more of the power for herself,
and she's going to use that in her match against Ivelisse at Ultima Lucha. Aha. So it was all a ploy for Katrina to become stronger, and not necessarily for Mil Muertes.
He's gonna be mad when he finds that out. He's gonna be like, Katrina, you've got some explaining to do.
We'll see where
we'll
see where this ends up going. This is a very interesting season of Lucha Underground.
Lucha Underground is an interesting season of Lucha Underground.
Lucha Underground is
interesting,
to
entertaining.
Yes.
Fun to watch.
And then to finish off the night,
so far out of all 3 seasons, we've had like one boring episode. Somewhere in like the middle of season 2, there was like one episode where we were just like, it was alright.
Yeah, it was. Which you can't win them all. 99 out of 100 is still good. So, but yeah,
a lot better than Rob.
We finished off the night. We see Rey Mysterio in some sort of dojo type area. Talking to someone, at first we don't see who it is, and we have him talking about, I have all these issues with your son, and you got to understand that what I'm doing in the temple is necessary, but there isn't enough room for me and Chavo there, so I need you to understand, if I do what I plan on doing, where do I stand with the Guerreros? And we have Chavo Classic, Chavo's father,
Chavo Guerrero Senior,
talking to Rey, asking him, we've been through a lot, you're kind of family with us, but do you think that what you have to do is necessary? And Rey is very set in the mind that yes, what I have to do to take out Chavo, saying there's one of us has to leave.
There's only room in the temple for one.
So somewhere down the line, probably Ultima Lucha, maybe sooner than that. It's hard to tell with Lucha Underground.
A losers leave the temple match.
Yeah,
seems like it's right around the corner.
So yeah, 2 guys, Rey, who has just now made a big splash in Lucha Underground, and Chavo, who's been there since season 1. One of them's going away. So we'll see where that goes. That's it for the midweek wrap-up. Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Be sure to click all the links down in the description and take it to all of our social medias. You've also got our SoundCloud link where you can listen to all of these reviews we've done this week in podcast form, and we do that every single week. Just head on over there for those non-video types of media.
Yeah, it's awesome because we don't have any extra stuff this week, so you get all of it over on the SoundCloud.
But for those of you that are here over on the YouTube, for those of you that are on the SoundCloud, come on over to the YouTube where you get the extra videos. Like, coming up soon, we'll be having our Hell in a Cell predictions. I do believe that'll be next week. You also get our pay-per-view reviews, top fives, and all that stuff, plus all the stuff that's over on Reasonable Wrestling Fans.
That's reasonable with a W, like wrestling.
Where you get all of our YouTuber stuff like unboxing videos, reaction videos, our punishment videos after the pay-per-views have come and gone, and many more. Coming up later this week, you will have Kevin Hawk's reaction to Delete or Decay. You'll find that over on Reasonable Wrestling Fans. So,
it's true.
Once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next.
Pew, 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 pew.
Fuck man, man.
Suck it.
Why so much sucking?